ladies and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Hi, friends. We're rocking. Thank you very much. And welcome once again to Tell the Truth. We're going to start this one out by paying a visit to the wonderful world of Disney. Our first guest is a gentleman who has done many of the cartoon voices that you've enjoyed over the years. And on top of that, he has created almost every one of the sound effects for all of the Disney productions through the years. And we're going to meet him as soon as we meet the Dizzy, Daffy, and Dopey panel here on Tell the Truth.
Peggy Cass. Bill Cullen. Kitty Carlisle. And Alan Luding.
And once more, dear friends, into the breach. We have with us that, how shall I say, attractively atrocious trio of Carlisle, Cass, and Cullen. And all out there in the class by himself, we have the host of Password, Mr. Alan Ludden. Alan, good to have you with us,
Well,
friend.
it's always
been
a
a long
pleasure
while.
to be here, I got to tell you.
Well, now, everybody loves everything connected with Disney. I think it's a part of our national heritage almost. Now let us meet our man of 1,000 sounds.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Jim McDonald.
Number two.
My name is Jim MacDonald.
Number three.
My name is Jim McDonald.
And as usual, panel, you must ferret out the true Jim McDonald, and here is his Disney dossier. He says, I, Jim McDonald, create the sound effects for all animated and live-action films at Walt Disney Productions. Not only have I invented about 1,000 sound-making instruments, I actually do the voices of many of the animals and the cartoon characters. For example, for the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I developed such effects as gurgling waterfalls and pouring rain, as well as doing the yodeling for some of the dwarfs. Now let's listen to a sampling of my work. The sound of buzzing bees that you'll hear next is the result of blowing through a rubber tube and pressing on a piece of taut rubber stretched on a spool. And next I become the voice of the famous character Goofy.
Yup. I'm sure Goofy.
And now the celebrated dog, Pluto. And finally you will hear me as the voice of the renowned Mickey Mouse. Listen.
Hi, I'm Mickey Mouse. Sure is nice to be on the To Tell the Truth show.
After my true identity is revealed, I will produce the hoof sounds of a four-legged horse and growl in the manner of a large, angry bear. Signed, Jim McDonald. Four-legged horse. That's, it's one on each corner. Yeah. Very convenient for the horse. We'll be back after hearing the sweet lilting sound of the cash register.
As a gynecologist, I'm embarrassed to say this. We use deodorant on our armpits, and we kind of make women feel bad about body odor that they get on other parts of our body. That's why I created Lumi Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. It's clinically proven to block odor all day, controls odor for 72 hours. Soap can't do that. And since your pits and privates go everywhere you go, keep them confidently fresher with Lumi. That reassurance is priceless. To learn more, go to lumideo.com.
When surprise breakdowns happen, American Home Shield will be there to fix or replace parts of the systems and appliances you rely on every day. They help protect your time and money by connecting you with qualified pros and helping pay for covered repairs or replacements. AHS offers flexible and affordable plans for every home. Sign up today and get $100 off with code AHS100. Visit AHS.com or call 833-PLAN-AHS.
Match game, match game, match game! Prepare yourself for the Man-Eater, the Suave Slayer, the Fancy-Fine Funny Guy. You asked for it, and we got it. More matches than you can shake a blank at. A full-throttle 3-hour block of match game, match game, match game. Weekdays at 5 on BUZZR.
Now, surely you will recall that across the way we have three gentlemen all saying that they are Jim McDonald, the voice of countless cartoon characters, and the man responsible for virtually all of the Disney sound effects. Let's start the questioning with the big noise from Pittsburgh, Mr. Bill Cullen.
Boy, Gary, if I'd have known when I was a kid in 1932 that I'd be sitting here talking to the real Mickey Mouse, I would have been very impressed.
Were you a kid in 1932?
No, I wasn't a kid in 1932, but I would have been impressed if I'd have known it. Number 3, there's a fellow who worked in New York and some work in Hollywood who was marvelous at voices. He particularly did dog voices. Do you know who that fellow would be?
Brent Barker or Donald Bain?
Number 1, I keep going way back about people I've worked with. There's another fellow who I started out with in Pittsburgh who went to Hollywood with Horace Heidt and his orchestra and did a lot of those type sound effects in the movies.
That was Mel Blanc.
Number 2, what's Mel doing now?
Mel is home. He has an agency now, but he was hurt in an accident and he isn't too active.
Number 2.
All right, that buzzer takes us on to Kitty Carlisle.
I'd like to give my time over to whoever you are, the real one, and just do sounds from here on in.
Not allowed.
All
Demonstrations are ruled out.
Number 2, how do you, let's say, experiment to get the perfect sound of the bee with a rubber tube and the taut thing on the spool?
Well, I just stumbled upon this one day. I had a spool and I put a bit of rubber across the top, stretched it, and used the rubber hose, and there was the bee.
And that's the way it works. Number 3, were you trained in terms of using your voice in these various ways?
Not officially, no. No, I just drifted into it.
You drifted into it?
I drifted into it.
Number one, did you drift into it?
No, I was in a band, and I went to work for Walt Disney when I was a kid. And it was just the beginning of sound stages and sound instruments, and we just developed it as we went.
Thank you.
All righty, that takes us, please, to Alan Ludden.
Number 3, have you always been the voice of Mickey Mouse?
No. Walt Disney was the voice of Mickey Mouse until about 1958 when he asked me to take over for him.
I see. Then did the voice change perceptibly?
No, not really. No.
Number 2, had you ever had any voice training per se, as such?
Never.
Number 1, when you're Mickey's voice, are you using would you call it a falsetto? Is that it?
Yes.
Does it hurt your voice?
It does now.
Did you have any training as a singer or anything like that?
No, not whatsoever. I was a drummer in the band.
Number 2, do you use filters, sound filters?
No, there's no sound filters at all.
And finally, we go to Peggy Cass.
Number 3, how many unions do you have to belong to with these multiple talents?
Well, Screen Actors Guild for one, Musicians Union for another, and Carpenters Union occasionally.
Well, what about the sound effects union?
After American Federation of Radio and Television Artists as well.
Yeah, but do you belong to the sound makers union? They have a union, don't they?
There's no sound makers union.
Oh. Number 2, for which dwarfs did you yodel?
Well, all but Dwarf Dopey, and he had no voice.
Oh. Now, number 1, what was the year of Snow White?
1937.
No kidding.
Boy, that's a tough group over there.
Yeah, right. Number 3, if you were Mickey Mouse's voice, who was Minnie Mouse?
Hey, we got ourselves a little bell that we made up ourselves. That's our own bell, and it means time for our own ballad. So take your little crayons, mark yourselves a number 1, or a number 2, or a number 3.
What should we do?
I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, we can have the money as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
At over $4 a blade, shaving every day gets expensive. Harry's 5-blade razor offers me a close, comfortable shave. Best part, refills are as low as $2 each, half of what I paid before.
Go to harrys.com/shave to claim your $7 trial.
Are you embarrassed by your bathroom? Well, it's time to stop hiding your bathroom. Jacuzzi Bath Remodel can install a beautiful new bath or shower that you can be proud of in one day. And they'll do it at a price you can afford. In fact, there's never been a better time to call. We're waiving all installation costs and postponing all payments for up to 1 year.
Having someone use that shower is definitely an embarrassment. I'm so excited and proud of my home, but not letting someone go in there. It's so pretty and new, and the tub is so deep, and I can't wait to just go climb in it and just lay there.
I did not like my bathroom before and was embarrassed by it.
Yes. This is unbelievable. It is stunning. I can't believe it.
I love the way that the shower turned out, and I cannot believe that they did it in one day.
Jacuzzi has been making water feel great for more than 65 years, so you know it's a brand you can trust for an at-home sanctuary you'll love for years to come. Just look at these gorgeous custom designs. Plus, we offer free in-home design services to build the bath of your dreams right in your own home. Every detail is covered for a solution just for you. Or maybe it's more than just the look and feel that has you hiding from your bath. If safety's the issue, take back your peace of mind. Now is the time to convert your old bathtub to a beautiful, easy entry shower with features like grab bars and a custom seat that combines safety and style. Be proud of your bathroom again with Jacuzzi Bath Remodel.
Call or go online right now for a limited time offer. Only weeks left to get waived installation and no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-523-3088. That's 800-523-3088. Call now.
Strong vote, and we pay $500 to the group in case we cannot unearth the real Jim McDonald. And Bill Cullen starts, please.
Well, you know, I use this time to mention the names of all my old friends. Donald Bain, Brad Barker, Ollie O'Toole, and all that sort of stuff. Actually, I started out doing the same thing. I used to do on the college quiz. I was the voice of Alan Ludden for years. There was no future in it, so I gave it up. I voted for #1 anyway. He started with a band.
All righty, so we got a one show, and we're going to go to Kitty.
Well, they all have very, very pretty voices and rather good projection. But I thought #2, he seemed the real one, and also he looks like Jim McDonald.
Yeah, I guess he looks like Jim McDonald, at least as much as 1 and 3 do. So let's go to Alan Ludden.
You know, they've done it again with this briefing. I don't see how 3 guys can all know so much about such an intricate business. However, my instincts agree with Kitty. I think it is #2 because look at that mustache. Only a sound man could curl a mustache.
We've got a pair of 2s and a 1 and Peggy Cass.
Well, I've got a different reason. While you were introducing them, you know, I'm #1, #2.
Yeah.
I looked, and #2, when the animals were making these sounds, his mouth was moving. So I figured he's it. So I voted for him. He was going.
I hadn't noticed that. It may have been a giveaway and may not have been. Well, we'll find out.
He's an awful sneak, then.
It's a tough team, but the votes are in. Will the real Jim McDonald please stand up, sir? How about that? Mr. McDonald, will you go center stage, please, and get ready for a demonstration for us. And while Mr. McDonald gets ready to show off a bit, we're going to find out who his imposters are. #1, sir, what is your real name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Lee Ross. I'm a builder associated with M. Pashalinsky and Sons in Jersey City.
Huh, nice to have you with us. And #3, sir, can you tell me about you?
My name is Edward Langley. I'm a management consultant for General Electric.
All right, now for a demonstration, and while we watch some films, Jim is going to make the appropriate sounds. But first, tell us about the hoof beats that you were talking about. You said a four-legged horse. Aren't all sound effects four-legged horses?
Well, no, some of the fellows who were not drummers would have trouble doing a four-stroke rough, and they'd make three-legged horses, such as...
That's a three-legged horse.
Now with a four-legged horse, my horses are...
Now then, let's try to have you, right now, we'll show you some silent film of a horse, and you make the hoof beats, and let's try to make them come out together. Synchronate, yeah. Now? Now, in this next piece of film here, we have a wildcat fighting with an angry bear. Give us a demonstration of how you're going to do both of these voices, so-called.
Yes, sir.
So, using a chimney lamp chimney, how do you do it? Let's give us a demonstration, then we'll go into the film. Oh, that's fierce. Let's have the fight on film now, and you do both the voices, huh? Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being with us here on To Tell the Truth.
Thank you.
I would like to add at this point that there is later information on Mel Blanc that Mr. McDonald apparently has. He did have a terrible car accident. It was many years ago, but he is now back and very, very active. He's doing a lot of cartoon work, I'm happy to say. Now, next, we are going to meet a man who has one of the loneliest jobs in the United States. He is the president of my fan club. No, actually, he only has one pencil and is about that short. Actually, he's a fellow who works on top of Mount Washington, and if you want to know why, stick around.
All right, time to do some selling. That's going towards rent. Oh yeah, that's going towards girls' night. And that's going towards a new bag.
Your closet is worth more than you realize. Download the Poshmark app and start cashing in today.
That happens a lot, but SafeLight could have helped.
So don't let that little chip spoil your trip.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
Are you or someone you love struggling with an addiction to drugs or alcohol and want to be set free from the chains of addiction? Then call Addiction Helpline America right now to get the help you need. From drug and alcohol addiction to dual diagnosis treatment, we provide a confidential helpline to help people like you get sober and live happy, substance-free lives. With one call, you can be on the phone with addiction specialists across the country who will guide you on the next steps to find the freedom and healing you desperately need.
Now let's say hello to a man who works on a mountain.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is John Howe.
Number 2.
My name is John Howe.
Number 3.
My name is John Howe.
And here is the tall story of John Howe. He says, I, John Howe, am staff engineer at the Mount Washington Weather Observatory in New Hampshire. With an elevation of 6,288 feet above sea level, the peak of Mount Washington is the highest point in the United States east of the Rockies and north of the Smokies. Wind speeds often surpass hurricane force. In fact, the strongest wind ever observed by man was recorded here with an incredible velocity of 231 miles per hour. And it is cold where I work. Wind and temperature often combine for a wind chill factor of 150 degrees below zero. Nonetheless, Mount Washington affords an ideal vantage point for observing New England's volatile weather. Every 3 hours around the clock, we measure wind speed, temperature, atmospheric pressure, humidity, precipitation, and cloud cover. Most of the time, it's a lonely job, but not in the summertime. Then Mount Washington is visited by more than 250,000 tourists. Signed, John Howe. And Peggy Cass, I guess you know more about New England weather than the rest of us, so why don't you start?
Thank you. Number 3, who pays you?
The Mount Washington Observatory.
And who's that under the auspices of? The state of New Hampshire or the government?
It's a private corporation.
Thank you. Number 2, what TV station broadcasts your forecast?
WBNZ
And where's that originate?
in Boston.
Thank you. Did you give me those call letters again?
You gave the call letters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. All right. Number 1, how often do you come down from sea level to sea level from up there?
Well, never really reach sea level.
You never do?
No.
Why? Don't you ever go in the water or anything?
You mean off the mountain?
Yeah, off the mountain.
Yes.
How often do you come down?
That's not sea level.
Well, anyway, how often do you leave the top and come down to the bottom?
Usually once a week.
Hey, did your wife live up there?
No, no.
Oh, well, it's like being married to Pullman Porter, right?
Let's go to Bill Cullen, please. I fail to see the parallel, but it's all right if you want to make it there. Number 2, they talk about the wind chill factor. You hear about that all the time in the wintertime. How is that arrived at?
Well, it's just a study that they made. It's not anything scientific. They found that depending on the wind and the temperature, there's a chart that you use.
Yeah, number 1, they say wind chill factor of 150 degrees below zero. How much of that, number 3, how much of that is wind and how much of that is cold?
Number 3 is the
Yes,
wind.
sir.
Mostly wind. Depending on the wind speed, the higher the wind is, the more of the factor is due to the wind.
Number 1, it was mentioned that the people still go up there in the summertime. Do they still have that railroad to the top of Mount Washington?
Yes.
What number 1 distinguishes that particular type of railroad from ordinary ones?
Well, it's a cog railroad.
And
Cog Railroad. Good. All right, let's go to Kitty, please.
Number 2, are you married?
Yes, I am.
And how often do you see your wife?
Once a week.
Number 3, are you alone up there when you have to do this every 3-hour duty?
No, there are usually 2 of us at a time at
Are
the
you married?
station. Yes.
Because you wouldn't see much of your wife if you were up all week when you went home. You'd have to sleep all the time.
Peggy, I mean,
I can't answer that.
Watch it there.
that sounded like a Peggy question.
Well, now,
We didn't get a response from number 3.
No, I didn't. What did you say? You don't do it all by yourself. That's the answer, right?
That's the answer.
So number 3, you do have somebody to help you out on these 3-hour shifts.
Yes, we have. There are usually at least 2 of us there. There are 4 of us on the staff.
I see. Number 2, when you go out.
Oh, sorry about that, Alan Ludden coming up.
Well, I'm not going to get into their personal lives anymore. I just want to know, what does atmospheric... Number 3, what does atmospheric pressure do to the weather? How does it affect our weather?
Well, it's the difference in atmospheric pressure from one part of the country to another that drives the storm systems and causes the wind to blow and so on.
Number 1, what are the call letters of the station in Boston that broadcast your forecasts?
WGBH.
Number 3, number 2 rather. When you was talking about wind chill factor, the wind, the wind is the wind cold or is is the wind cold? Number 3.
You mean the wind chill factor?
Yes.
What it's really measuring is the evaporation from the skin because of the wind.
All righty, chew on that for a while. You got yourself a little bell there, friends. And when you get the bell, that means that it's time for us to make a choose. And we make a choose between number 1 or number 2 or number 3. And Peggy, you seem to be in a quandary, or is it my imagination?
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm
Oh?
not in a quandary at
Glad.
all. I didn't know WGBH, and I didn't know that WBZN, so I voted for number 3. He sounds though he comes from New Hampshire.
Ah, very well. On an accent, then, we have a 3 showing, and we're going to Bill Cullen.
During the war, I was a civilian. There were 2 of us on at a weather station for 8 months, and we never got a chance to get home and see our families. Really? Yes, terribly lonesome. Alice and me. Alice was, she was a sweetheart. I mean, the kind of girl, well, one of the boys, you know. Alice was one of the boys, but I didn't know. I didn't even care. And on that basis, and to this day, at my age, I voted for number 1.
That's like the fellow, excuse me, I must interrupt you, was found in the hut on top of the hill, and the man says, "Do you live here all alone?" He said, "Yes, my son, I am here, and I'm quite content with with my, I've forgotten what it was." with just my spirit, my rosary, and a little brandy. I said, by the way, would you like to have some brandy? And he said, yes, I would. He says, hey, Rosary, 2 brandy. Sorry. Let's hurry on. Kitty, I'm sorry. Yes.
Well, after that, I'm going to vote for number 3. I think he looks like the weather station man, and rather, you know, as though he's been out in that cold, too.
All right, we got a 1 and 2 3s. And Alan Ludden?
I'll go along with Kitty, 3.
Going along there. Okay, we're terribly unbalanced. All at one end, the votes are in with the real John Howe. Please stand up.
I'm wrong again. Yeah, I did it again.
Done it again. We're not having much luck today, gentlemen. Let's find out about our imposters. Number 1, what is your name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Clem Bittner, and I'm a copy chief at an advertising agency here in the city.
Nice to have you here, Clem. Number 2, tell us about yourself.
My name's Dave Burnham. I'm the president of the Scuba Knot Diving Society.
Hey, good stuff. John Howe, as a summer resident of that area, I'm indebted to you, as are many of us. Thank you so much for being with us, and gentlemen also.
I've shaved every day for 20 years.
A couple times a week?
Just for special occasions. Shaving gets me ready for my day.
I feel more confident clean shaven.
But I'm tired of overpaying for a close shave.
With Harry's, I don't have to. Harry's offers 5-blade closeness and comfort. It's got all the features that I love.
And refills cost as low as $2 each. Only half of what I paid before. It's a premium shaving experience without the premium price tag.
Go to harrys.com/TV to claim your $5 trial.
Da Vinci gave me twice the pits and private parts, which makes me smell twice as bad.
A PU?
That's why I use Mando Whole Body Deodorant. The manly deodorant for all the manly crevasses of my manly body.
Mando, he smells good.
Mando doesn't just block odor all day. It controls odor for 72 hours. With cologne quality scents. Roma wasn't built in a day, but with Mando, you can smell good for 3 of them. So if you want to smell better naked, then go to shopmando.com today.
We've always loved taking care of our home, but last year, Grandpa here broke his arm. We realized some home maintenance jobs aren't worth the risk.
That's when we call Leaf Filter to protect our gutters. Leaf Filter's patented filter technology keeps debris out of your gutters for good.
They gave us a free inspection, and we had the system installed that week.
My only regret is not calling them sooner.
Now we can focus on what we really enjoy.
Join millions of satisfied homeowners. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER today or visit leaffilter.com.
Watch this. It's all 100% real. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. Nothing has been doctored or tampered with. The very real problem will disappear before your eyes and hers with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours and hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags. It works on sagging jowls, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm. In just minutes, you can restore and beautify your face, even look years younger. And the look will last all day or all evening.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Jump on board and say yes to this amazing $14.95 Prove It Plexiderm trial. You'll see why our customers describe Plexiderm with 3 words. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Order right now. We'll pay your shipping. Operators are standing by.
If anybody can remember the punchline to my joke, please mail it to me in an unmarked envelope. I'd love to know how it turned out. See you later, friends.
This is Bill Wendell speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.